so players, while Patty B is doing that, players are shuffling up. It's Paul's. And I'm pretty excited to kind of see how this plays out. Body, mind, spirit, start level 1, level 2, level 3, and finish. I don't know what game that's for. Alright, we have the dice fixed, and players are shuffling up. I did get the chance to watch most of Chris's last match against Quentin Pierce, where quite a few triggers were had. He had the same Yorion enter the battlefield 3 times due to an ephemerate and really take over the game. But one of the complaints that Chris did have was how hard his deck was to shuffle. And this the kind of one of the big ones about that. If you remember our last, you weren't here for the last stream, Petty B. One of the questions that we asked is, should you double sleeve your Yorion deck?
Oh.
And chat, we did a poll in chat, and chat said no.
I would double sleeve this Yorion deck because everything is like
pretty hot.
Zendikar foil, or like the Expeditions foils, kind of.
Starting off quickly with a Springleaf Drum, Ornithopter, tapping both. I think.
Scardizade? Oh, yeah.
Scardizade. One of the faster starts that this deck can pop off with. And
that's probably what you want against the 4-color Elementals deck, right? Is just a quick start.
Yeah.
So they don't have time to accrue their value.
Cody asks, what round is this? This is the semifinals. So This is top 4.
Hammer. Damage. Let's go.
I like that Paul reached for his life dice. No, that is the other dice that should be tapping sideways.
10, yeah. And even if he has Solitude, he's gaining 12. Or 10. Is it power? Solitude's power, right? Yes.
Oh, here we go. Right. Speak of the devil, and the devil shall appear.
There's the Mariner. Saga. Attack you. Does it reach?
Yep. It doesn't need reach.
Oh.
Because the hammer removes flying from
flying. That's right.
Good call out, though.
Yeah.
It's actually one of the reasons that Paul just good habited and attacked. You put it on after attack, after blocks.
Yep. So that you can't flash in a thing to block it. Paul plays very sound Magic. I've commentated plenty of his matches.
Here we are going down to 7. What are we thinking get out of this?
I mean, this looks like a...
Doesn't matter because Spell Pierce was had. Scoops were given. We are already going to Game 2 of the semifinals.
I can just hear the rock. It doesn't matter what you have.
All right, let's look at what these players can try and do here. Blossoming Calm, Beseiju, Chalice the Void is one that Chris has access to, along with EE. Those are probably the most likely with the Beseiju. What does Paul have?
Paul has 2 Hushbringer. Seems pretty great.
Okay.
2 Lavinia, Azorius Renegade. Also seems great. A couple Mana Leak, 2 March of Otherworldly Light, Path to Exile, Pithing Needle, Relic of Progenesis, 2 Sanctifier and Vec, an extra Spell Pierce and a Teferi. I could see the Hushbringers, the Lavinias, the Teferi possibly coming in here.
Yeah, the Hushbringers, Lavinia, and Teferi make the most sense to me. Does he have any Path main?
No Path main.
Okay. Yeah, I think that those all seem like reasonable options. It does look like Paul is tanking a little bit on his decision. How many Spell Pierces does Paul have mainboard?
2 main.
And then 1 in the sideboard.
Yes. So I think that's pretty standard.
2 in the main and 1 on the side. It's pretty standard.
Yeah.
That's a
Pretty.
joke.
It's pretty modern.
Yeah, that's one way to say it.
Yeah.
I feel like we're gonna get demonetized here really quick if we don't stop though. Looks like
on Water Street.
No, that's I had a different thought of 2 in the main, 1 on the side than you did, obviously.
Oh, sure.
Here, yeah, there you go. It looks like Paul's bringing it looked like 5 cards.
Probably the 5 that we talked about, maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah, nothing there.
Now, while these players are shuffling up, I want to make a complaint. I want to know your thoughts.
Okay.
If we're gonna have dark mode, which people want anyway, why have such dark colors for the usernames in Twitch? Why not fix it? Twitch?
Lazy Bezos?
Must be it.
Has to be it. I do love the players' playmats.
Yeah, I actually was. Do you know what the Body, Mind, Spirit one is?
No.
It's cool. I was reading it during before they started.
Mm-hmm.
Paul's is the Legacy Champion, North America Legacy Championship, Matt.
Yes. Yep.
Where did that take place?
Paul plays a ton of Legacy. I think it was Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Back when I was super connected to Legacy. Paul plays lands in that format. He's rather expert at it.
Looks like players are shuffling up, getting ready to present. I do not envy Chris right now. His hands do look like they hurt.
Little swollen from shuffling so hard.
I remember the first time that somebody handed me a double-sleeved EDH deck, and I handed it back to them and I said, "You expect me to cut this? This is a weapon. This is not a deck."
I will do one cuts, but yeah, no, I will not do shuffle cuts. Look at Paul.
Paul's trying to follow the rules by shuffling his opponent's deck. Yeah. Failing at it, we might add.
At least once. Oh.
Sounds like Drew is up a game against Crystal in their match.
All right.
Getting his revenge on for Crystal being his only loss during the Swiss.
Oh, yeah. See, that happened to me last week.
Was Drew getting his revenge on?
Yeah, he got his revenge on me. I beat him in the Swiss and promptly lost in the top 8.
All right. I cannot see Chris's hand. I was starting to get a glimpse of Paul's, but luckily because of the deck that Paul's playing, we'll probably see how his hand turns out pretty quickly.
Yeah, most of it here. Looks like they have kept their hands, leading with a Misty Rainforest. Chris.
Paul already fetching, going down to 17, which means that we're probably going to see ourselves a Hollowed Fountain. Thingy plays another Shockland.
Yeah, no, it's just the 2 Hallowed Fountains. All right. So that is going to cast a... Let me see, maybe a Sigardazade?
Springleaf Drum. Pass the turn.
Okay.
Not quite the same start as we got last game.
No, not as explosive.
Paul being a good guy, adjusting the dice for us.
Oh yeah, professional. Oh, not in that half.
How did you know that was a Misty Rainforest? I'm staring at this card. I have no idea how you know that's a Misty Rainforest.
I don't know. I think I went to.
What did he grab?
I went to purchase. It's my ADHD. I just store random Magic cards. I think I went to purchase that at one point.
Okay. What is the land that he got?
That is a.
It's a Triome.
It's the Naya Triome. I'm trying to think of the specific.
I'll take Naya Triome. That's good enough information for our viewers.
Jedimir's Garden.
That's impressive.
There's another Misty. And it's also kind of hard to tell with the Misty, right? There's no blue on that, and you don't really see blue.
It literally looks like a Haro or like a green ramp spell to me.
Sure.
The fact that you knew it was a Misty was impressive.
All right. Going to
16, which means that we're going to see a Shockland. That one's a Steam Dance.
Oh, good job. Yeah, that art's pretty recognizable. And Harbinger. Okay. So, shuffling's not done. Or rather, it wasn't presented to randomize after the fetch. Putting Fury on top of the library. That is pretty neat interaction, right? Of getting the elemental that you need for the situation.
Yeah, during his last round versus Quentin, he made a pretty cheeky comment after resolving a Harbinger, asking if Quentin would like to bobble him. So Chris has also got the jokes, in addition to the Harbingers.
I love that.
So Giver's going to tap for, I believe, Sigarda's Aid.
Yep. And Bolt Giver. The Bolt Giver, the Bolt Taketh.
That was a terrible joke. I like it.
I thought it was okay.
I mean, I like terrible jokes.
That's good.
All right, draw step here for Paul. Going to Paul with 3 mana available right now. Passing the turn.
Okay, so
meaning that we will likely see
2 constructs, right?
Constructs.
End step construct, upkeep construct.
fetch. Going down to 15 for Chris. Good guy Paul to the rescue once again. 13.
That's a Temple Garden.
It is a Temple Garden.
Yes. To note, the whatever was done with the camera has definitely helped also identify these cards as well.
Glad to hear.
Yeah.
Better lighting. Putting a glare lens on the camera. I actually don't know what the lens is called. He put a...
It looked kind of like shaded.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3 for Teferi.
Teferi 3 comes down here. Bouncing, I assume Sigarda's Aid.
Okay. Right, so construct.
Paul reaching into his deck box for a construct instead.
We brought them. Means he probably has one that he likes to use. That was one I made sure we had.
Paul draws.
Like
Deciding what to do.
Silent clearing is the draw.
Paul will make another construct here. These constructs are currently 3/3s, but they will be 4/4s once Paul decides what to grab.
With his Saga.
One of the nice things about the Saga popping, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Paul has a Seachrome Coast in hand, and that Seachrome Coast will now be able to enter untapped.
Oh, awesome. Cheeky plays, cheeky interactions. They need to put that card. They need to reprint Seachrome Coast.
They should probably
And all
finish
of
the
them.
cycle first. There's only allied ones. Oh
We
wait,
got
no,
them.
they did
Yeah.
them in Kaladesh. You're
Yeah.
right. You're
It was
right.
like,
I'm wrong.
Ooh, Ginger Brute.
Gingerbrute comes down making... Oh, maybe it wasn't a Seachrome Coast. Maybe it was a fetch land.
I thought it was a silent clearing, like the Horizons draw one. But Marsh Flats. It is.
Plains here.
So probably drum the Summoning Sick construct to play Sigarda's Aid. And then the Ginger Brute with the land.
Gonna give it haste.
Does it already have haste?
Or maybe he's making it so it can't block, is what it is. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. He's making it so it can't be blocked to kill the Teferi.
Ooh.
Solitude, targeting Gingerbrute. The Teferi will live to fight another day. Three will be taken by Chris, putting him down to 10.
Yep. Then, okay, so second main.
Now we'll see
the aid. Okay.
Discard his aid.
Alright, I guess you want to maybe have I don't know, some interaction or protection with the mana to do that second main phase. Ooh, draw Yorion. Does Chris not have a fourth land?
So one of the reasons I think was that he wanted to get rid of the Teferi is instead of playing the aid though is because the aid lets you cast the spells as though they had flash, and you can't do that with Teferi in play anyway.
Yeah, that does make sense. So turn was draw Yorion, pitch Omnath to Fury to kill a construct.
We're gonna go Stoneforge Mystic.
Ooh, nice.
Tapping, I assume, the new land and the plains.
Yep.
The other being a plains.
It's anything but plain.
Good dad joke.
Shadow Spear.
Shadow Spear is pretty good here. Giving your trample could be pretty big.
Right, and you can just do that main phase.
It does look like the 3 cards in hand for Chris. I think one of them was an Omnath.
Solitude pitching
Yorion.
Just discussing timing on that.
Paul has the option now if he wants to main phase equip to the Stoneforge Mystic, using the Stoneforge Mystic as mana.
Yeah, that might free up something for next turn. Ooh, hammer! Hammer attached to the Stoneforge.
Teferi plus.
Found the 4th land. 1 card in hand for Chris.
This is a lethal hammer.
Tap. Yeah, because the Shadow Spear, right? You just
attempt to equip Shadow Spear. Ooh, Lavinia first. Crack, go to 9.
Oh, fetch shock. 7. How much does it cost to equip hammer without
I think it's 8.
aid? 8? I like Paul's choice of Lavinia as well. The old border style from Horizon set.
Four mana.
Ooh,
Subtlety. We'll probably just still see an equip attack here.
Oh yeah.
And then I do believe that is 3 toughness in play. And Paul will take the match 2-0.
Woo! Congratulations to Paul.
What's up?
Not much, how are you?
You know, I bet chat was probably telling us that our mics weren't on.
I mean, it's usually good to listen to chat.
It would be helpful.
It's a good idea.
Let's start over.
Sure, sounds good.
First of all, congrats, finals.
Thank you. Feels good.
Good. I'm glad it feels good. And it was funny. I was actually talking to another player about you on coverage today
Oh, really?
about some of the how quarantine specifically. A lot of players came back from quarantine, and you could tell that they continued to play Magic in different ways,
Hmm.
and they got better. And you were one of the players that I mentioned.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually didn't play Magic during quarantine, like
Well,
at all.
you. That's funny because you are one of the ones that I mentioned. Um,
Appreciate it.
talk to me really quickly about your list. Like we kind of talked about this while our mics were off, like the master producers that we are. But
Of
you
course.
have the Ginger Brute,
Hmm.
the Giver of Ruins, and you kind of have a split between your permissiony spells and your
Yes.
threats. Kind of talk to me about it.
So Ginger Brute is just kind of like an all-star like get card with Saga. Like there's a lot of like situations where if you during some board states, if you get a Ginger Brute, it's just basically guaranteed lethal because they were just like planning on blocking you, and you now have a virtually unblockable creature. Earlier in the Swiss, it even forced my opponent to block with their Cauldron Complete on a Ginger Brute. So just in fear. And then Giver is just like all star protection. It helps you in like all of your worst matchups, like 100%.
What do you think your worst matchups are?
100. I would definitely say four color is my worst matchup by like a mile. And then I'd say Titan's a pretty close to difficult one. And then the Cascade decks can be really difficult. That's one of the reasons why I kind of configure my 75 the way it is.
Um, you have two opponents, playing out right now,
Mhm.
potential opponents. One's on Mono Blue.
Yeah.
He was your only loss on the Swiss.
Yeah.
The other's on Is It. Patty B was telling me earlier that you specifically want to play against Is It this tournament.
100%. Yeah, I mean, I've always been favored against Murktide in with Hammer specifically. I think my record over the last like year and a half since like MH2 came out that I've been playing Hammer, I think I've beaten it about an 80+% of the time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Uh, Talk to me really quickly before we go. Um, have you been to Atlanta?
I've never actually been to Atlanta except for in their airport to
That's
for
a
like a
that's a city
for
all
like
of
a
its own.
layover.
So
Yeah, I mean it was like its own world for sure, but
yeah,
I bet the city itself is actually better.
awesome. Before we jump over to the next match,
Yeah.
any what do you think of these 1Ks that Game Grid is doing? How do you feel about the level of support that Jordan shows this community?
I think Jordan shows a great deal of support to this community. Like we have a pretty like thriving Magic community, mostly on the back of him. Like because we have a lot of players who want to play, but it's just like hard to have things to play in.
Yeah.
And I think that with these 1Ks, like I pretty much jam every single one of them. Like I do anything that's like competitive, except for limited. I usually kind of stay away from most of the
Sure.
time, unless I think it's really good.
Well, sir, good luck in your
Thank you.
finals match, and
Appreciate it.
hopefully we get to talk to you here in a couple more minutes.
Hopefully, couple minutes.